So many times in my life, I have been in the absolute depths of despair, wondering if there was a way out, but trying to stay optimistic. And I've always been this strange combination of feeling like I can do anything and simultaneously getting myself into situations that I'm not sure I can get out of. So I have pushed myself hard, building my businesses, saying yes to way too many things over the years. And 2020 was the first year that I ever just sat still. Because I had to. We all had to. And in that year, I was like, okay, if I'm going to be sitting still and my gyms are closed, I owned gyms at the time. I've owned them for 20 years. I don't work in them anymore. I own a virtual assistant company that I currently work in. So anyways, I was like, I'm going to put on the Vegas Rising Summit. And I'm going to interview all the successful people I can find, and I'm going to ask them their secrets, and then I'm going to share it with my city to help uplift them in this time when we're all just stuck in our houses. And I was absolutely shocked by what happened next. As I sat in these interviews, I started piecing together these patterns in these people's lives. And before this, I had always been striving since I was 17 years old, building businesses. I'd always been kind of like on an island. I hadn't really had a lot of in-depth conversations with other business owners. I had this billionaire one time who wanted to invest in my business, but I felt icky when I talked to him. So like that was the closest I had gotten. And then I had my dad and my grandpa who always owned businesses, but their businesses were always so different than mine. So anyways, as I started talking to these people and as I started to see these patterns, I didn't like what I discovered. And I was almost kind of annoyed by it because it was the one thing that I hadn't tried. And every single one of these people, regardless of what their beliefs, regardless of what businesses they had, they all mentioned meditation. And I was like, no, because I always ran away from meditation. It seemed like the opposite of me, basically, being still, waiting. Like, I am a doer. I take action. Who has the time to meditate when we're doing things? But I've always been a learner. And I love learning, and the older I get, I realize that I just don't know, and I just don't know things. I don't know a lot of things. And so if all of these people were doing it and they were successful, there must be something to it. And so I started. And as I started my journey through meditation, I tried all kinds of things, did all kinds of videos, and I ended up I like to just be by myself and in my thoughts. And sometimes it would just be 2 minutes, sometimes it would be an hour. But anyways, I found myself on a mountaintop one day and I'm like, I'm gonna go meditate in nature. And I started being drawn to nature for the first time ever. I never understood hiking, never understood people going out in nature unless it was to get exercise so that I could burn more calories so I could eat more. Or I love food. So I'm like, okay, if there's a picnic, I can understand going out in nature. Seriously, never understood it. And when the world stopped and I started meditating, all of a sudden I wanted to be in nature. I wanted to be with animals for the first time. Super strange. Okay, so I was on this mountaintop meditating, and all of a sudden I hear my name being called, like a blast from the past, someone that I had grown up around. And he's like, Julie? And we sat there talking. He had been on a similar journey getting into meditation. And then he shared with me all of these different people that he was learning from. And so he shared the Esther Hicks books. I got into Esther Hicks. Then I got into Joe Dispenza, and then all of these people who are into meditation and basically changing your life through meditation. All these people started coming around or appearing, and I did the Joe Dispenza week-long retreat. I did a Silva method in person with Silva's nephew. Anyways, as is my nature, I went all in. I am talking all in. But at that time, I was super excited about it, super into it. I was like, yes, this explains, because I've always had this nature of I can do anything. And I've always been optimistic, even though I will be in the absolute mud and just the awfulness of my situation. I've always thought that one day things were gonna be great. I really have, even if I didn't know a way to get there at the time. And so all these things started just really making sense to me. But at the same time, I was coming from a place of fear because I was scared. We were in the middle of a pandemic. My gyms were shut down. We were trying to recover with the gyms, but I didn't know what was gonna happen. But still, I followed the steps, got into the feelings, did the things. And then I got deeper into my feelings of stuckness and no way outness. And I was like, you know what? All of this stuff is great. Like these, the retreat was great. Like all these books are great, but I'm spending like hours a day meditating and like learning and taking walks in Mount Charleston. And I'm like, I kind of feel like I need to get back into my old ways of action. And so I'm such an extreme person. So I just got 100% back into action. And I was like, I need to get financial stability back in my life. And I did. And I kind of stopped meditating and I got back into the work hardcore. And then I went in the wrong direction, like really hard in the wrong direction. I started a new business that on paper looked really, really amazing, but it 100% wasn't soul aligned. And at the time I tricked myself into thinking it was soul aligned, but really it was like my mind piecing together, throughout like your entrepreneur history, you didn't have this, you didn't have this, you didn't have this, and this business has those things, and this is what you really, really need. And so looking back, like putting all the pieces together, I wonder if all the time that I spent like meditating, dreaming, attracting, if that protected me in this time and guided me towards what I truly needed, because something literally didn't let that business succeed. Like just didn't let it. Like customers wanted what we sold. My team was happy. Like my partner was amazing, but forces outside our control literally like shut us down. And I lost a lot of money. And right before I let that business go, I still hadn't decided to let it go, but I got in a car accident, a dog fight, like all these things happened. And I was in this like super low point in my life. And it was the car accident that really led me to rethink my priorities, because I don't know, I was so stressed. I don't want to say anything about the car accident that like I attracted it or whatever. I don't think I believe that, but who freaking knows anything about that stuff? But basically that car accident had me like just really rethink my priorities and shut down the business. And after shutting down the business, I started clawing my way out of the mess that I had made. I still had my gym businesses. I took a lot of action, but I took the action with a twist. Like I started just really listening for the thing that I was supposed to do, instead of like hard charging towards what my mind thought was a good idea, which is like my normal. And the idea that had been there all along, the idea I had started with before this other business derailed me, kind of came back to me. And it was along the same lines as the other business. And I went for it, and it was hard and it was messy, but it just really felt like the right direction. And I put my all into it. And once again, I put my all into it and I got sick and I got overwhelmed. And even though I was supporting myself financially, I realized that the way I was doing this business was super unscalable. And like looking back, it's because like my mind was coming up with all of these super creative things that I thought I needed to like differentiate ourselves in the market. But really, I just needed to do the simple thing. Like most businesses aren't doing the basics well. If we just do the basics well, serve your customers, serve your team, like you don't have to come up with anything like super fancy. But anyways, because I was in the weeds, because I was overburdened, I couldn't like see a way through the weeds to make it scalable. But then I was on a connection call with a fellow female entrepreneur, and she asked me, she's like, can you just please help me find a VA and I'll just pay you hourly? And like you take care of the VA, but I'll pay you hourly for them to do the work. And I was like, that's pretty simple. Like we take care of the VA, like we do mental health checks, like we take amazing care of our VAs. And it clicked. And I'm like, okay, this is simple. It's hard to do well. Like the industry has a hard time doing this well, but I knew I could do it. And if I just stick to the simple things, the basics, and I just took care of people. And like one of my core values in business is always do the right thing. Oh, I'll come back. I have my call. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Just always do the right thing. And that has served us so well. And I sleep so well at night knowing that we always take care of people. Like, we do what we need to do to take care of people. It's just so simple, but it's really something that you don't see a lot in the marketplace. And so that's our differentiator, is we only accept nice clients, and then we take care of everybody, and we try to always do the right thing. So at first in this iteration of the business, I really was doing all of the things. I was sitting in all of the seats, but little by little, I grew my little company. I got the help I needed, and now I have an internal team of 12, and they are so amazing. And I get to sit kind of in my zone of genius, and it's not really a little company anymore. It's growing at just the right rate. But it was just a couple weeks ago that I was making YouTube videos about burnout, and I really was struggling, like even just a couple weeks ago. And so much has happened in the last couple weeks. So I've always dreamed, well, not always, but I mean, so even before I had my big, I don't know what you call it, but awakening, I guess, I've always been drawn to the ocean and drawn to specifically the Pacific coast. And maybe it's because I was born there. But a couple weeks ago, we got to spend a significant amount of time on the beach and in nature. And I grounded, I got connected, I dreamed, and it's so funny how fast things are going. But just 3 days ago, I started meditating faithfully again, like really meditating and really enjoying it. Not just like, oh, this is something on my box that I have to check off and then I feel better afterwards, but really like looking forward to it. And I have been meditating intermittently before that, but not like this. And when I've been walking my dog, I've been imagining that I'm actually walking her on the beach, and I smile, just the biggest smile, and my heart is so full and it feels so good. And I live in Las Vegas, in the desert, which is the exact opposite of my dreams. But I knew that when I was on the beach just a couple weeks ago, I knew that if I didn't find peace and contentment, and I even talked about it in a video that I haven't posted yet, but I'll post it before I post this one. I even talked about how I knew that if I didn't find peace and contentment at home, in Las Vegas, in the desert, 100+ degree weather, where there's not as many trees as I would like, but I'm thankful for the ones we have, then I wouldn't be happy anywhere. And so meditating again and really finding true happiness and true contentment here. And I'm in a beautiful spot. And I mean, my house is beautiful. I really am thankful. I'm very, very thankful. And so doing that and finding the true joy where I'm at and the true thankfulness, a couple days ago, things started really, really popping, like big things. So I might be sharing a stage with someone whose books have helped me through some of my biggest and darkest entrepreneur phases, seriously. And by the way, that opportunity came because I was on a group call and there was a woman who was talking about some struggles she was having. And I just felt this pull to offer a friendship call, like an entrepreneur friendship call. And I sent her this awkward email where I'm like, hey, I don't know if you need this, but sometimes I just need somebody to talk to who's also an entrepreneur, and just somebody to listen and talk things through. And I'm like, I'll be there for you, if you want to. And so she got on a call, and she'd already solved her problems, but she got on the call anyways, just to chat. And I asked her, I'm like, which part of your business are you the most excited about? And she's like, well, there's this opportunity that has arose outside of my business. And the opportunity was with this author and entrepreneur whose work has helped me through some of the darkest times in my entrepreneur life. And she invited me to be in on this opportunity. What an amazing woman, first of all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I had the call yesterday talking to the co-founder of the company that she is working with. And it was such a big yes, deep in my knower. I could hardly believe it. It felt like all of my hardship, all of my years, all my struggles have really led me to this opportunity. That's how I felt. And I just found myself wondering, a few years ago, so it's 2024 now, and a few years ago, I put in so much work visualizing, doing the meditations, trying to attract the things that I wanted in my life. And I feel like I finally just needed to be content and connected. And I mean, that's what everyone in the space says as well, to finally realize them. Like I needed to let them go and just be content and connected. And I'm just so thankful for this journey, like seriously. So I didn't even want to share like these other videos before this one because I'm in such a different place in my life. Like I feel like I've just done this like quantum leap. But I'm still gonna share those other videos. I'm gonna do the work because I think it's important to watch the journey. And like even just the views of those videos are so low, and I'm like, it's because people can feel that I'm struggling, or maybe they're just low because my thumbnail and title stunk or whatever. I don't even care. With my YouTube journey too, like I just want to attract like my tribe. Like I can't wait for there to be comments so that I can answer them and talk to people going through the same things. But with the YouTube journey too, I've got to just follow the love and enjoy it. I've loved making this video so much. And then I've just got to kind of let go. Like I'm always learning, always improving, but I've just got to let go. So that's what I'm working on. Oh yeah, and if you're new to my channel, like and subscribe, hit the little bell so that you can see my other videos pop up if it feels good to you.